Well, Hasbro and Disney decided to keep the relationship going. We're going to talk about all of that and more tonight on Geek Dad Live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geek Dad Live. My name is Jay Glatfelter. Joining me very soon, it's going to be my good friend Quip. But excited to be here tonight, back after my long trip and journey to Japan, Tokyo, Japan for Star Wars Celebration. It was a ton of fun, not just celebration, but just everything that Tokyo and outside Tokyo had to offer. And really excited to be back here behind the desk for the Sunday night live stream. A big thanks to Quip and company for keeping the stream going while I was gone. And happy to kind of get back into it with some big toy news. But before we do any of that fun stuff, let's say hello to the chat. It's hopping as always. Let's start off with Johnny Disco on Ryu. Doralaxian is here. Video Power Gaming, Extra Creepy. PD Dubs, Daxamil is here. I Play Nerd, Alex Aro, William Rodriguez, Smedberg is here. Chris Maury, Nelson A, Brandon Estrada, Z-Man at the Party, Tony Johnson, Stephen Lawrence, Dave, Toy Manoids, Mike Hex is here. Mint with Card, Turtle Lair, Frankie Rivera, Doomed Larry's Geeky World, Gady's Toys is here. Timbo from Limbo is in the house. I do Mecha Man Blade again if I haven't. Elio Shiny Plastic People is in the house. Chad Stewart is here as well. Togigasaurus. Dorlaxian is here. The Mitch Cardboard Galaxy. Matt Bush, member for 32 months. Holy moly. I think I got a new soundboard here, but here it is.
I got family.
He's got family. Video Power Gaming, Toy Manoids, Gray Fox.
I got family.
As well, 32-month anniversary. Peak Obi-Wan, Deep Space Niner is here. I did Shining Plus. I'll do it again. Jason Studio and J Mac. Paul Galliano is here. Video Power Gaming member for 13 months. Frankie Rivera, K-Mac, Alpha Magnus. Who the F is this guy? Welcome back. Thank you. Hey, look, Jay's back. Exactly. Gnarly Charlie, Mr. Chris Bex. Bring back John. John is a busy man, very busy man. But he's always welcome back whenever he's not so freaking busy. Mr. Ryan Clark Gage is here. TNT Green Ninja Shelf Presents. And so many more. Thank you all for coming to hang out with us and talk toys tonight. Hit that like button if you haven't done it yet. I also kicked this thing off with a poll while we were waiting. Sup, Hawkstop. And to see where you're at. Just the big question, the question of the thumbnail. Are you happy, sad, or indifferent to this news that Hasbro has re-upped with Disney for the Star Wars and Marvel licenses? I'll try and buy Quip a little bit more time. But tonight, After Dark, it's been a minute since I've been gone. We haven't done After Dark. And tonight we're going to have a fun one. Stories and hauls from the Japan trip. Which was a lot of things purchased throughout the time, from Disney to shopping at Akibara with my son to stuff I picked up at Celebration, plus other little random stories that we'll share there in After Dark. And I think, as long as she doesn't fall asleep beforehand, I think Colleen will be joining us there. So definitely, if you're a patron or on the GDL Patreon, we're gonna have a fun After Dark tonight where I share the Japan stories. So $5 gets you access to that. Come hang out. We're gonna have a good old time, and should be fun. That doll pick is epic. If only Cyber could get in there somewhere. Let's see. Let me. If you haven't seen it, this was an ask by the wonderful Ryan Dole's fan club. If while we were in or at Celebration, where I would be meeting Ryan Dole for the first time, that if we could recreate the the guy looking back at the girl walking by meme, and we were able to pull it off. It was a ton of fun. Wasn't easy, but we made it happen. Oh, we got Quip here. Let's bring him out. Quip. Oh, damn, he must have did himself. Wait, there we go.
Oop.
Quip, hello.
Hey, sorry about that. Lost track of time. Lots of stuff going on with the family at the moment.
Listen, I totally understand. That's why it's usually J light savings time. So I totally get it. But Quip, how are you?
I am well. I'm well. Lots of things going on. Looking forward to decompressing and talking toys, right? Lots of things going on in our home, in the world, right? But it's great to be here talking toys with you, Jay. Welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be here. I'm digging your little goatee action going on here.
A little bit. I'm trying to grow it out, but it's just this is about it's
you gotta commit. You gotta commit to the bit, okay? It's looking good.
I can try. We can do a progress. We can start charting my beard progress, my beard journey. We can start documenting.
Let's see. Yeah, ladies love a doll in uniform. But anyway, it turned out really well. It was great to actually meet Dole in person for the first time. Like I feel like I've been friends with Dole for, I don't know, 5 years or something like that, and have not met him in person. I feel like every one of my friends, at least the toy side circle, has met this man except for me, and got to meet him on the floor of Celebration. And one of the things we knew we had to do was have a little fun with me, Colleen, and Ryan Dole. But anywho, posted that on the old Instagram, the Geek Dad Life Instagram. But Quip, how's it been? I mean, how was it? How was it holding down the fort while I was gone?
It was okay. I mean, you'd have to ask the chat. I tried to man the fort and have some good conversations. Some weeks were, I feel like that first week was a little slow in toy news.
Mm-hmm.
Last week there was a little more excitement.
Sure.
But overall, we just chilled. I appreciate all the people who did join me. We had Brick Something and Gary on to talk Lego a little bit. And then last week we had Derek and Shiny Plastic People, Chris Fantastic. We had him on, and we were talking some Superman. Oh, that was one of the things. I didn't know if we would upset Dole by the fact that we covered
probably, but I don't think he's been paying attention, so it was fine. He was so busy with the Japan trip. I think it was the perfect time to sneak one by him there. But anywho, no, it's listen, the fact that you were able to keep things going and had great guests, no, it was great. Excited about the Switch 2? No, because I couldn't get, I don't know. Are you ordering a Switch 2 or trying to order?
No, I'm one of those people that just kind of holds off and waits for other people to deal with all the headaches and glitches. And then after like a year or two, where they might even come out with like a Switch 2 Gen 2, that's usually where I kind of hop on. But
smart.
Yeah, I'm not. Some of the titles look really cool, and I'm jazzed about it. But honestly, I was more excited to learn this week. Like when everybody was freaking out trying to get the Switch 2, I found out that you can actually play Pokemon on Google, like using Google searches. Like if you Google different Pokemon names, then a little Pokemon, like a Pokeball icon shows up, and you can click it and you can catch it. But if you try and catch like the legendary ones first, like you got to catch the low level Pokemon before you like search up the high level Pokemon. It's a goofy, fun game. Kind of reminds me of like early internet stuff. But yeah, just type in like.
How do you spell Pikachu? Pikachu?
I think that's it. Yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
All right, Pikachu.
Nothing. I can't see it there. Are you logged in? Okay, you are logged into Google.
I'm logged into Google. Whatever. I'm sure there's something there. It's fun though. I do love a good Google search. Maybe it's like on Pokemon Day or something.
Maybe.
Still, it's fun. Hey, I was gonna, because I was awake midnight. I gotta say, and we'll talk about the Japan trip more in After Dark, but I still haven't recovered. Like my my internal clock is so screwed up, Quip.
Out of whack. So you're like wide awake right now?
No, I'm like exhausted. And then I'm like, but I'll get wide awake at like midnight and then I won't be able to go to sleep. And then I'll actually fall asleep. And then I'll wake up at like 3 a.m. and then I'll take like a 7-hour nap. Like my whole thing is thrown off. And it was like 26 hours to fly home and I can't sleep on planes. It wasn't 26 hours flying, but it was like to leave to go to the airport and then to get it was Japan to San Francisco, and San Francisco to Dallas, and Dallas to Raleigh. Anyway, I'm just out of sorts, so I feel like I'm just like not even a full human being yet. But anyway,
but it's good reason to be out of sorts, right? You traveling to Japan. I look forward to talking more about it on After Dark, right?
Yeah.
Getting more of the family trip slides. I've seen a little bit of what Colleen has posted on Instagram.
Yeah, she's been posting most of the family. I'll share some more in the After Dark. I just haven't thought of a good way. So this is my thing with traveling is like I don't like posting pictures while I'm traveling. I don't know. I just want people to be like, oh, he's not in his house. Time to steal his cyborg. But anywho, but I went straight back to work, so I've been working. I don't know. It's just I haven't been able to. I'm still feeling like weird, tired, exhausted. But so thankful and grateful for an awesome trip. Okay, Quip. I gotta be honest. Celebration happened, right?
Yep.
And I thought that at Celebration, if Hasbro was gonna like announce this renewal, it would have been done there, right?
Not necessarily, because from a Hasbro and Disney standpoint, what do you think sells more? Star
Probably
Wars
Marvel.
or Marvel? Exactly. So it kind of makes sense for them to separate it, since it's kind of, a catch-all type deal for them to say, okay, Star Wars Celebration is happening. If they were going to do it at Celebration, I don't know that the deal was sealed in order to make a proper fanfare of it. So it does kind of make sense to just send the announcement out a little later. Some people say Star Wars. Okay, all right.
It's whatever. But I don't disagree that maybe because they want to be more inclusive of all the properties. So if you're gonna do that, do it at San Diego Comic-Con, probably, right? But here's the thing. Like there's like a couple days after Celebration. Just do it at Celebration. Who cares? You have a little more fanfare, I feel like.
I don't know if given current international or foreign affairs and foreign relations that are happening right now, if that was the appropriate venue to announce like a big merger or a big connection between, but I guess Hasbro would have closer ties to China than they would Japan. So I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, this was one of the big speculations we had coming into this year, right? Was it felt like, and this is kind of pre the whole tariff thing, kind of throwing a wrench in the entire toy industry. But the licenses have been hanging around a while. Like, hey, maybe DC will go to Hasbro. Maybe Hasbro will give up Marvel and it'll go to Jada Toys or something. Whatever. It just felt like there was going to be a shakeup. And one of those things came true, right? Like Mattel, the reunited, got its baby back with DC.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, well, maybe, Star Wars, for lack of trying, but just it's been this perpetual thing since Power of the Force 2, which if you like Power of the Force 2, go check out the Toy Geeks podcast on YouTube and wherever podcasts are given away for free. It's been a ton of fun to dig into that. But that was 1995 to now. 30 years Hasbro has been making Star Wars toys without a break.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt like, okay, it's time. Maybe it's time for somebody else to dip their toes into the Star Wars water. But alas, that is not the case. Hasbro announced this, was it a couple days ago, the 24th? That they have extended their licensing agreement with Disney Consumer Products. Did you see anywhere how long? Because all the things I saw, like this one from Hasbro, is like a multi-year extension. Like, what is is that 2 years? Like, what are we doing?
I'm not seeing exactly where. I've heard other toy tubers say that it's 5 years. I don't want to speculate though, because I haven't been able to confirm that myself.
Yeah, I was looking around, but if anybody in the chat maybe knows for sure. But anyway, I was like, how long is it? 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? Anyway, I did find that interesting. A couple shout outs here. Allison Troy gifted 5 GDL family memberships.
I got family.
So welcome to the 5 new members of the GDL family. And I'm pretty sure none of them is going to be Chris. And then we've got a $5 super chat here from Tucker Prime. With how popular Marvel Legends is, this shouldn't be a surprise at all. And yeah, I guess, let's start with the good. Quip, what is good, the goodness out of, status quo? It's Disney is staying under the Hasbro umbrella. What is good about that?
Goodness under status quo is collectors don't have to feel like they need to start all over again, right? There's still the opportunity for Hasbro to finish up some of the key teams throughout the Marvel universe, keeping things appropriately within the proper scale, because you never know. I mean, nobody needs, what is it? Is it 7-inch or 8-inch McFarlane? No, it's 7-inch. Yeah, it's
7-inch. Yeah.
7-inch Marvel team to mix and match. I mean, I've seen some people do a really good job as of late where they have different scale figures, and it's kind of cool, like going from the 1/12, 1/10, 7-inch or 1/6, where you're talking like 12 inches, where it's kind of like a cinematic setup where it looks almost like a movie poster when they do the proper posing and take pictures and light it properly. It's pretty neat. I've seen some really cool stuff. One of the things I saw was specifically Street Fighter related, but I've seen a few other ones where you can mix and match scales, but the average collector, whether you're mint in box and you're looking for consistency with the form factor of the packaging, or whether you are an opener and you want consistency in your scale and aesthetic, keeping Marvel Legends and the relationship between Disney and Hasbro going, that's an opportunity for people to kind of still fill out their shelves and not feel the pressure, or even though it's perceived pressure, right? The perceived pressure of feeling like they need to start over. I'll say that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Like, for Marvel Legends, it's been under Hasbro now since the 2000s, I think, when that changed hands from like when Toy Biz kind of dissolved and then the license went to Hasbro. And for better or worse, there's a lot of good in the Marvel Legends toy line. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but no toy line is perfect. And price uncertainty is definitely a thing. But it's nice to not be uncertain with the future Marvel Legends for however long this extension goes for, right? And I think it's also really good for the Marvel Legends team. Hopefully, nobody gets impacted there. I don't know if there's any future layoffs planned at Hasbro. Maybe, who the hell knows? Again, there's just a lot of uncertainty with the tariff fluctuations and stuff like that, or even the impacts could already be done there. But so don't know how status quo this will all be. But that being said, I think that's absolutely a good thing. Marvel Legends staying where it is. No negatives there, really. The only negative, let's shift to negatives then, or maybe not so good things. I think it's the Star Wars thing, and maybe it's just me. This is just my own take, right? I'm sure it's like I did a walkthrough of this Hasbro Star Wars booth at Celebration, right? And the majority of the comments on that video, which still a lot of people are watching, it's pushing 20,000 views or whatever it is, are mostly positive. Like, people are actually positive about a lot of the stuff that they showed at Star Wars Celebration in Tokyo. But from my perspective, it's just like, it's been 30 years. I want something. I want like a different take. I want something different. Because in terms of like legacy scale at TVC, it's like I've got most of everything, and they kind of drag their feet on giving us new things. So you just kind of have to wait. Like, we got one Bad Batch figure announced at Celebration, which is great. where's the rest of the crew? And then for Black Series, it's just kind of I burnt out, famously on this channel anyway, on the Black Series. So I'm just like, kind of want some fresh blood there. And so status quo for Star Wars, I'm not so hot about. But Quip, do you agree with that? Do you disagree? Kind of, how do you feel about that?
I somewhat agree with that. I'm really trying to think, because I was gonna say, well, I don't know if your pockets would appreciate it, but I've seen some really cool stuff from Hot Toys as of late.
Oh, sure, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but as far as I feel like the Hasbro Disney collectible, even though they do cater to the adult collector, I feel particularly with TVC. I think Dole calls that the Lord scale of 3 3/4.
Yeah.
I can understand wanting to see something new, and I think that holds true for Marvel as well. Just as much as it's beneficial to kind of get more consistency, it's also exciting to see what else is out there.
Yeah.
And I know, particularly, so people were excited about the Maximum series. They got kind of excited about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Less excited about the Hulk that's been offered.
Sure.
Word on the street is there's going to be another Maximum series figure before the end of the year.
Yeah.
But what are they going to do in a climate where Jade is putting out toys for right around the same price point, right? In a climate where other toy manufacturers, so Jade is putting out toys around that $25-$30 mark, which is pretty on par for no discounts, not the Ollie's discount, as somebody mentioned in the chat.
Yes.
That it's getting a little more competitive. So can they step it up, or will they step it up, or will they fall back to their old tricks? And is that going to cut it with collector expectations, particularly as people are looking to narrow their focuses, as people are looking to kind of dial in their collections, make smarter financial decisions, not knowing exactly how tariffs are going to hit, right? Just in anticipation of that. Even before there was any talks of tariffs, I think many people were, at least in the GDL family, in the GDL discords, people were talking about kind of tailoring their collecting, you included, of, okay, I feel like this year I'm going to need to focus somewhat. So if they keep doing the same thing, and like you said, you feel like you've got it all, and you're not really hunting for, even if you see something on clearance, you're just kind of like, yeah, I just don't need it. Do you want it to take up space? Do they have the desire to try and spice things up a bit, shake things up a bit, to where they can get people who have been collecting over the last 30 years excited again about the Star Wars brand?
It's a great point. And it is about, like, in a world where collectors are kind of focusing, maybe kind of picking and choosing what they need. And you're right, like, I've actually had a lot of fun just buying all these Power of the Force 2 figures, because they're so cheap and plentiful and easy to find. That's kind of been scratching my Star Wars itch, and it's not new Star Wars. And but I think Thunderhouse Design actually highlights maybe the main reason of my discontent.
Okay.
And it's this. I think Hasbro's biggest problem with Star Wars is TVC legacy scale in competition for budget with the Black Series. They have limited resources that downgrade both lines. And I don't know the inner workings of Hasbro, the Star Wars Lucasfilm team at Hasbro, but it kind of makes sense, right? Because you're kind of, unlike Marvel Legends, where it's just one scale. And yes, there are other Marvel toys on the shelves that Hasbro makes, but as far as collectors go, you just got Marvel Legends, right? They have had a 3 3/4 inch toy line, but that was years ago at this point now, maybe like 10 years ago since they had those. And Star Wars introduced Black Series in 2011, 2012, whenever that was. And it was exciting at the time, but then it since then, really, one of the coolest parts about Star Wars toys, which is the vehicles, has, like, in terms of what's on retail shelves, like slowed down to the slowest little trickles of drips of water that may hit our parched lips. And I think that I think is the frustrating thing with Star Wars, where it's almost just like kill blacks. And I know there's Black Series fans out there, but kill Black Series. So, that budget can go to maybe more vehicles or more things that I think makes Star Wars toys exciting. It's not just the figures. It's the world building. It's the vehicle. It's the cool spaceships.
It's very true. Yeah.
It is what has, made Star Wars toys great since they first came out, however many years ago. So yeah. Where did I stop? I don't know where I stopped.
I caught it. We can keep going. Don't worry about it.
All right. So yeah, I think it's kind of you're a jack of all trades, master of none with the Star Wars line. And that's where I think it's almost like cool, they re-upped, we're fine. But it's almost like I wish they would let the license go so that we just have a clean slate, start over, and kind of get back and focus solely on what makes Star Wars toys awesome, which is vehicles, world building play sets, and awesome smaller action figures. But that's just me.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I think that's a criticism that Mattel has also experienced with Motu, right? Splitting kind of the fandom between Masterverse and even Masterverse has got a bunch of sublines, and Motu Origins has sublines too between Cartoon Collection, and now they're even doing some other vintage thing, which is still scaled with Origins. I don't know what they're doing, but you can break up the IP so much that it's almost like what's what I'm looking for. It's not analysis paralysis, but it's comparable to that. Like when you go to an ice cream shop and they have way too many flavors versus part of the reason why In-N-Out is so popular on the West Coast is all right. Yeah, we got burgers, we got fries. Do you want a single, double, triple? Right? It's those basics. Like humans thrive. You do have a
secret menu though.
Well, yeah,
what's your secret menu go to, by the way, for In-N-Out Burger? What's your? Do you have one, or you do just double?
No, I just do the classic. I usually just do a classic double, and then a strawberry shake.
Nice.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I'd do a 4x4. Now I do just stick to the double. But
yeah, in blood pressure.
Yeah, I can't do that.
My chest is getting tight just thinking about 4x4.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, what you're saying with respect to, so I can understand why they have a Black Series and a TVC, right? TVC kind of tickles the nostalgia bone, right? Versus the Black Series, which is the reason why, like a couple of people said it in the chat, they like that Marvel Legends scales also with G.I. Joe for like world building. It's the appeal that Super 7's Ultimate
that's
line
not
has.
World building though. I don't think it's world building because you're not going to build worlds for them to stand in. That's not world building.
So who was I think Dole and Alex actually kind of covered this on Gotham City Tonight.
Yeah.
Where they were talking about, okay, how do adults play with their toys, right? If you're not actually getting down on the ground, smashing them, having, like toy battles, what do we do when we set up displays? You kind of play with your imagination. You play in your mind. You're like, okay, whether it's posing and you're setting a scene, if you want to have, I'm thinking like, what is it? It's like Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue, where you have different people from different worlds nice all fighting against drugs with Nancy Reagan. It's like you're building displays and you're using your imagination, and so sometimes it does help if they scale, because it seems like these figures go together. So having a Black Series to go with your Marvel Legends, to go with your G.I. Joe Classified, I understand the appeal of that. But to your point, it still gives collectors it gives collectors the hard choice of which way to go, or collectors feel like maybe if you feel compelled to purchase both, well, then you're going to be purchasing fewer of both because you're splitting your finances, your resources. And to your point, though, it's much easier to world build in the 3 3/4. World build to your definition of vehicles, play sets, getting those accessories that make like a Motu Origins line so great and really kind of make collectors really excited about that. Because the cool thing about Motu Origins, even though they have Masterverse and some other things, you're still getting play sets, you're still getting vehicles for Origins. Whereas that's a little drier or fewer and further between with respect to how Hasbro was dropping the Star Wars TVC vehicles. And I know personally, so I'd be excited about it. I mentioned my love for episode 1 last Geek Dad Live. And I know if you're talking about, okay, getting vehicles out and getting figures out, which could also kind of tie in with the Pod Racer video game from N64. But if they did a series, so one of the things that's kind of sparked the most excitement actually, and I'll say recently, at least to me, that's kind of stood out to me on the shelves, is those Micro Galaxy Squadrons. Because you can get a little bit of, okay, you're getting some ships. You
Absolutely.
can do a little more with it. Whereas,
my kids love those. They love those ships because it's about the ships.
Yeah, exactly. So if they could mimic that excitement and just start to put out more ships in that TVC scale. And how are they going to do it? Are they going to be Pulse exclusives, right? Because I digress.
Well, that's the thing, right? They've done ships, but they've been HasLabs that are really expensive, and no kid's gonna get that. Like I do know of people buying those for their kids, but it's like that's just a bad precedent. We both have children, like getting them $500 like ships from HasLab. That's not
gonna happen, Captain.
Yeah, it's just that's a slippery slope. Even if you can pull it off, but you shouldn't. But yeah, so since Hasbro has to kind of allocate maybe the same budget to 2 different toy lines, it's Black Series isn't able to get its full potential, and then TVC isn't able to get its full potential. I don't know if I put this in from Tucker Prime, but $5 super chat. Thank you, Tucker Prime. Maybe I did say it already. I'm maybe just misremembering things now. A couple other anniversaries: Black Phoenix, 32 months; Thunderhouse Design, 31 months. But some of the more recent comments here, Allison Troy, this is unacceptable. But I know it's a thought a lot of people have. Yeah, and I'm sorry that's your thought. Alpha Banks, sorry, Jay, 1/12 is king. I'm always disappointed when the only way I can get a favorite character is in some tiny figure. That's fair, but I think Ian actually shows a path where it's maybe just let another sub-license out to another company to do that 6 to 7 inch scale figure.
That can be done because they're doing the 1/12 or the not 1/12. Sorry, the 1/6.
That's 1/6. Oh, sorry.
No. I'm thinking because they're clearly Hot Toys is doing 1/6.
1/6.
Third parties that are doing 1/6. So you could, if Hasbro wanted to still. Well, I guess that wouldn't be Hasbro making the money then. That would be.
But you sub-license out, right? You just let right, what Super 7 did with G.I. Joe. I know that's because they own it, but still, maybe there's just some path where Hasbro lets another toy company do, and they pay them some money on it per figure or whatever, the bigger scale Star Wars, and then they can just focus on their budget on what they do well, which is the smaller scale. Because I don't know who said it in the chat. I may have missed to start it, but maybe been Riley Bob. It also has a 32-month anniversary today. Thank you, Riley Bob. And Shelf Presents gifted 5 GDL family memberships. Hey. Welcome to the new family members. Oh wait, where'd it go?
I got family.
There we go. And I hope none of them are Chris. But to me, it's just like, is G.I. Joe classified an amazing line because it's one scale and they're focusing everything on that scale? Is Marvel Legends one of the great lines, most long-lasting lines of all times, because they decided to drop the 3 3/4 inch scale and focus just on the 6 inch scale, and it's been able to move forward. They focus on one scale.
I mean, they dabbled in the Marvel 375 for a few.
They dabbled,
waves.
But then they realized that maybe it wasn't working, and they dropped it, kicked it to the curb, and just focused on 6 inch scale figures.
Yeah.
I know we're kind of spinning off here from this extension, but I feel like Hasbro, you re-upped, which is great. Happy for you. kudos, mazel tov. But I feel like now that you've kind of refreshed, you got this licensing deal taken care of, maybe it's time to focus on just one scale for Star Wars. And when it comes to Star Wars, it's about them vehicles. It's about the scenes and scenery as well as the figures. You got to go back. And then if you are worried about, filling that scale hole in our hearts, let somebody else do it.
Yeah.
Like Jada Toys. Make it in scale with the Street Fighter stuff. That'd be cool as hell.
It could be Street Fighter and Star Wars.
I don't know, but just, like whatever. They're doing great with that.
I mean, they are. I get where you're going as far as
Scooby-Doo, Street Fighter, Star Wars. You have them all in the same universe.
Real mascots. Yeah. Or food mascots as a whole, right? Because you got Chester Cheetah as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, it could happen. I could see it. Yeah, we'll see what comes of it. I know. Really trying to think, because I know some people are kind of like, I know Ian was saying that he wasn't a big fan of TVC or not liking them, but honestly, at least this last batch of TVC drops, right? They're getting really good at the likenesses at that scale, like really good. At least for my standards, but maybe it doesn't meet other collector standards. I mean, it's not a. Trying to think of who else just came out. Who just did those turtles? The ones that people are like freaking out. It wasn't Haya, was it?
Joy Toy?
Joy Toy. There you go. I mean, it's not Joy. Well, there you go. Joy Toy Star Wars. Yeah.
Right. Just do whatever Nickelodeon's doing with turtles and just let everybody have it. And you have Power of the Force, which is the more kind of kid-centric line, which looks like a lot of fun. It's like kind of 5 POA. They're finally doing a ship in that toy line, which again is insane, like an X-wing that looks really solid. But okay, god dang, Hasbro, for kids, it's about the ships. For me, it's about the ships. When I look at I have a vintage Star Wars collection, and it's about the ships and the play sets, and like seeing that and having that, even as an adult collector. For me, the play is in the display, and I want ships and play sets as well as figures. But I know that's just me, friend of the channel, co-host of Toy Geeks, Dan Larson's all about that 6-inch scale figure because he wants the best version of a figure on his display. And the larger the scale, the more detail that you get on a figure. So, just my opinion.
Fair enough.
Where do you stand? Are you a just figure? I mean, you don't have a huge display, but like
I don't know. So I've honestly been at a crossroads recently because I picked up the cartoon NECA diorama, and I've got the Underground Arsenal van behind me for Ninja Turtles. And so I'm thinking, as I'm planning out the future of my display, okay, well, do I keep the diorama? Because if I put the diorama up, well, the diorama takes the space of what was previously designated for the Hasbro Pulse exclusive, not HasLab, X-Men 97 Sentinel to go with my Marvel Legends setup.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of thinking of, okay, well, if I get new shelving, how do I plan everything out? Do I want to sell off the UA vehicle and then keep the diorama? Do I want to do both? I don't know. I'm really kind of at a crux, but I can understand. I think if I were to go in on Star Wars, it would be TVC. And as I had mentioned before, the thing that would really kind of get me excited and really interested in Star Wars would be the pod racers. And if you're going to do the different pod racing ships, then you're going to need the different pilots, right?
Yeah.
And if you're going to do that, and this is how collecting usually goes, right? Okay, I'm doing pod racer for my nostalgia for the N64 game. What's the other N64 game that was really popular at the time? Rogue Squadron. So then I'm going to want to see X-Wing.
I know.
Bombers. Like it's... Yeah, you have a point as far as wanting, if you're going to focus on one or the other, I would think particularly because of the nostalgia associated with Star Wars and Star Wars being that pinnacle collecting line that really made people in the 90s. I mean, you're going through the Power of the Force series now. Star Wars was one of those first action figures that shot up in value that made everybody run to the stores and try and buy them and keep them mint on card because that was going to be their retirement plan, right? When they came back out again. So knowing that, and I think that's part of the appeal of Origins, is that things kind of scale well. The newer stuff still scales with the old stuff. So if TVC were even to build out, and I don't know what gaps there are because I'm not super well versed on the vintage collectibles, but if they were to release some newer vehicles and some vehicles that maybe they were teased but never created, right? From the older lines, that is something that would really get collectors excited about this continued union between Disney and Hasbro.
Yeah. Yeah. All that, I mean, let's just wait and see. It just got renewed, and we'll have to see how it goes. Johnny Cock, thank you so much. Gifted 5 GDO family memberships.
I got family.
Welcome new family members, but definitely not Chris. Jason called this one out here. The pod racers were released in 2012 and they hung around shelves forever. It almost killed the line. But here's the thing, that was over a decade ago. And I feel like, you know, Phantom Menace is what, 26 years old? Not, like, it's kind of coming around to the younger generations that was their Star Wars. And I think, like, even I was trying to get my kids to go with me to see Revenge of the Sith this weekend.
Yeah.
And they refuse because they don't like that one, because that's when Anakin goes the dark side. Yeah, it's dark. It's dark. But my 10-year-old son, Zach, who does like Star Wars a lot, he had the best time at Celebration. He's like, no, my favorite's Phantom Menace because of the pod racers. And so it's just
a good kid. Good
right? Because I think it does, it hits with the younger generations a bit more. And so there could, maybe it wasn't big in 2012, but God, that's 13 years ago. Like, the people that were, 10 years old then are 23 now. The people that were, 13 then or whatever they are, 26 now. Like, people that were 50, 20 or 33 now. Like, so it's just a lot of time has passed, and I just think it's maybe something that you could tap into. Wait, am I old? Yes, I'm so sorry,
yes.
Ian.
Ancient.
So sorry.
Episode 1, also hands down best lightsaber fight in the entire series. Prequels, original, or sequels. Fight me. Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan.
No, it's great. It's great. I would maybe say Revenge of the Sith is pretty cool. Not the Yoda going crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I remember in theaters, I thought that was the most revelatory movie-going experience of my life. But in retrospect, it's kind of silly. But
are you talking Mustafar? Or are you talking the Obi-Wan?
I think Mustafar, the two brothers,
the crescendo of the drama. Okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
But I also Phantom Menace, like, so cool. But how much of that? I mean, yes, the choreography was crazy. But there's something I think more emotionally impactful of the not so fancy fights of Empire and Return of the Jedi.
Fair.
But I will readily admit John Williams was cooking at a level that he maybe has never cooked before, because the Duel of Fates.
Yeah.
And what's the other theme that he used for Mustafar? There's some Duel of Fates and there's like another song. Anyway, it is so insanely over the top that it's just like, it gets you in the mood. It gets you in the mood. Exactly. Duel of Fates, like the score to that saber fight, I think is what puts it over the edge for you.
But then there's also, so if you're all Force of One, you've got the choreography. Ray Park was a beast.
I know
in that battle scene, and of course, I feel like Darth Maul was wasted. It's so cool that they brought him back. I'm excited to see what they do, because is Darth Maul sort of filling in the gaps between Clone Wars and I don't know. I don't know exactly where the new Darth Maul spinoff is going to fit, but big picture. So you have the choreography, and then even still, they were building tension where they had the different barriers and they were still kind of like running between them. And I mean, you actually had them using the Force during the lightsaber fights. That's one thing they didn't do a lot of in the.
Well, these were like Jedi original. At full power Jedi, not like,
that's
some
true of
bratty kid being taught by Yoda or something and some half cyborg. So yeah, it was incredible. I'm not gonna say your choice is wrong. I think it's a perfectly valid choice. Some other ones in the chat that I do agree with. Alkalite, not a perfect series by any stretch of the imagination, but the lightsaber fights in that show are really cool. The one dude like headbutting because he had the helmet and it like broke up the lightsaber.
Yeah.
That was freaking
Cool
awesome. I have been a long time The Last Jedi fan, and the Snoke's throne room lightsaber fight is cool as hell. Big fan.
That was cool with the Praetorian guards.
Yeah, Praetorian guards. Cool as hell. And then another one here. Where is it? At the Clone Wars. I lost it. But when somebody mentioned the Ahsoka Maul lightsaber fight in Clone Wars is so good.
I haven't seen that yet. I need to watch Ahsoka. I need to watch it.
No, not Ahsoka.
Sorry.
Not Ahsoka. The animated Clone Wars season 7 that dropped on Disney Plus a few years back.
Okay.
Are you a Clone Wars fan?
No, Clone Wars was right around the time. That was around the time where I was starting to back away from.
Same.
Like I remember seeing toy collecting, and I was kind of backing away from some cartoons. I was still big into Ninja Turtles, but
sure.
Even then, my collecting and nostalgia, it was waning because I was a grown up, right?
Absolutely. Same. I didn't watch it while I was on. It wasn't until I think Rebels, and then really getting Disney Plus, and they were all there, and I could watch them, that I got into it. But then the new season, the final season they added to Disney Plus, it's incredible.
Okay.
Definitely
I'll have to check it out with the kiddo.
Yeah, it is. That is, especially like the last 5 episodes. It is incredible. It's like another movie. It's some of my favorite Star Wars ever. Highly recommended. Okay. There's a poll that's been up. Over 241 people have voted in this poll, folks. Are we happy, sad, or indifferent to Hasbro keeping the Disney license? Quip, where do you think this thing landed?
Happy, sad, or indifferent? I am going to guess that most people who are part of the GDL family are going to say that they're sad about it. I'm going to say they share your sentiments of wanting to see something new, not feeling like Hasbro, it really feels like they are feeling the pressure to do anything new per se, and maintaining the status quo. I feel like people want to see something new. So they were more excited at the notion of what could be than hearing the news of, okay, what we've had is going to continue to be.
Okay. Well, you're wrong, Quip.
All right.
51% are indifferent. 39% happy and only 9% sad. So
that's good to hear. Okay. We're a positive bunch. Okay, that's fantastic. Or we're
most are indifferent. So
okay, whatever. Do you know the state of the world right now? You think I really care about this merger? It's fair.
I love it. The Ahsoka Maul fight it was done by Ray Parker. It was cool. Like that's another thing for you. Ray Parker did mocap, and then the woman that did Ahsoka the stunts, and it's really cool because then they shot it in mocap, and you can just watch the mocap version of the lightsaber fight, which is really, really cool.
Okay. I'm just checking something.
Don't cheat though, Quip. You gotta watch the show. Don't just watch the lightsaber fight.
I'm just looking up something real quick. Okay, yeah, all right. I'm not crazy. So it's Ray Park, not Ray Parker. Like when you said Ray Parker, I was thinking Ghostbusters. Like
it is. It's Ray Parker Jr.
He was doing the
Ghostbusters,
like during the lightsaber fight. I don't. And now I'm imagining the dance with the Ghostbusters, but it's like in Darth Maul makeup.
All
Ray
right.
Parkour. That's a good one.
Ray Parkour. Oh my god. Okay. Indifferent because of price increase. Yeah, exactly. There's a big asterisk to any toy news right now, which is, hey, this company just be going under or whatever. So just whatever. Yeah, I can never escape the GB influence. Never ever. Okay. How about some Motu, folks? New Masters of the Universe Origins Club Grayskull Hurricane Hordak dropped. And while between the two, beyond just the initial vintage Hordak, the Hurricane Hordak is at least kind of cool because it has Vac Metal Gold. I still think they're kind of boring variants. So it's no shocker to me that they are still available. That being said, I like that we got the alternate head, like the original concept art Hordak head. I like that they kept with the Vac Metal, the Vac Metal Gold. But it's no shocker to me that this thing has kind of hung around, hasn't sold out. I don't know. What's your thoughts there, Quip?
I'm curious, and we may be building towards this. So if we are, just tell me to stand fast. As far as okay, this is still hanging around. It's cool that they have quantity 3 because naturally, I feel like Mattel, they know their fan base.
Sure.
If you are going to want to get the classic look for Hurricane Hordak, and some people have talked about this too in the Discord. Well, you kind of need 3 if you're going to go with 3, because you could get 2 just to display the 2 different head sculpts, or you can get the 1 for the classic Hurricane Hordak, and then the other 2 are minions, right? Horde minions with that concept head. It's kind of neat. I was surprised that it's still hanging around though, and yeah, there's some
past
cool
few have
teasers. But what this does raise the question for though is, so is Hero still a Club Grayskull exclusive? Is that available for the general public right now?
No, that's still members only. But
okay. So, and perhaps
Hordak is not. Hordak is just a Creations exclusive. You don't need Club Grayskull to get it.
But Club Grayskull got first dibs, right? So
I guess I wasn't paying attention.
The question of, and I don't know if you want to pull the chat on this too, is
sure.
Do we still feel like Club Grayskull is worth it? Because you still get access to some exclusive figures, right? I imagine. So this is only the second drop since Club Grayskull has started, right? At least in Motu Origins. So Hero is still exclusive. You got first dibs on Hurricane Hordak, because the weird thing about Origins is you never know which figure is going to be just gone like that, or which one is going to linger. Masterverse seems to hang around a bit longer. You're more tapped into the pulse of Motu collecting, so this didn't surprise you that it hung around as long as it has. But I was curious why it was still around and how people felt about it still being around. Do they still feel like, hey, they got their money's worth for Club Grayskull? They didn't have to freak out about jumping up, waking up at the crack of dawn and getting it. They knew that they kind of had an edge on the general public. Just a thought.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fair thought. Personally, I think it's early. It's too early to know if it's worth it or not. I think I even said in my Hero review, it's just like we'll have to wait and see, like, I don't know, 6 figures in, or maybe a year in, right? It's like it's $10 or whatever it is. And I feel like only then will we know if that $10 was worth it. But that being said, like, you had the Hero thing, you had, some pomp and circumstance there, and then you have this like there hasn't been as much juice, I guess maybe that people feel excited about it, right? But let's see what the chat says. Hopefully you're getting your votes in. Not only 40 votes so far, so definitely get your thoughts in if you haven't done it yet. But currently, no is winning on the do we think Club Grayskull is worth it, which is kind of shocking. It's overwhelmingly no. So if you have an opinion on, as of today, do we still feel like Club Grayskull is worth the $9.99? To me, if they have to have this exclusive club surcharge to keep the figures coming, I'm in. And I think that's it. I think Nick Dillinger makes it similar too. I care about Club Grayskull to support the line and less about exclusives. Judge Dreads, not a good look when even the scalpers don't want it.
Mhm.
I do think this is not an exciting Origins figure. It
Okay.
just isn't, because we've gotten the vintage look. We've gotten 2 Filmation kind of style Hordax at this point. So we've had 3 Origins Hordax. This is a vintage figure that for the vintage completists will want. So there's
Mhm.
that. But it's not, this isn't like a fan demanded. It's not like too bad or something.
No, and I'm looking here. So I just happened to look on eBay because I was wondering, okay, if Hero is still members only and it's only $10 a year. So I mean, I think $10 a year does get you a lot of grace. Like you said, it's not necessarily
Yeah.
fair 2 figures in to say, okay, $10. I think $10 to avoid the stress of, will I get it? Will I get it? With that early access, just for one single figure. Like if you pick this up and you already got access to the Grayskull Hero, then you got your money's worth, right? For $10
Yeah.
a year. And hopefully there will be other exclusives that you'll be able to get. But I was thinking, well, what's the aftermarket for Hero going for right now? I've seen a couple sell recently, within the past couple days, as recently as April 23rd for like $40.
Even though it's still available, right?
Yeah, it's still available. I don't
People being
know
silly
what
up here.
circumstances under which people pay for this, why they would do it, and why they wouldn't just say, okay, well, I'll pay the $10 and then I'll buy the figure. I've seen a couple of other ones going for it. I've seen some go for as low back in April 18th as like $18. So there's that too. But let's see.
Jeez, a sealed classics Hero, $21.50 at $10
Was that
for
super
shipping.
expensive in the past?
I mean, all classics were once upon a time, but that's kind of
Okay.
nuts. But yeah, $39.90.
Yeah, I was
But
surprised to see
maybe
that.
I will say these could be people buying like overseas, maybe.
Yeah, one was to Australia. That other $38 one was in Australia.
Yeah,
So I
so
don't know
that
what
could be it there. Maybe that's why you do
accessibility they
that.
get. Okay.
Yeah, over the creations one, but still, we'll see. Cardboard Galaxy, $10 subscription plus the figures will be more than they were at retail plus shipping charges. Origins is just not that appealing when the fees stack up. I think that's a fair point. I think it's a fair point.
Okay. Fair enough.
We'll have to wait and
Because
see.
what is it on the shelf? Weren't they like $17 like max? Like if you
Like
just were to
originally
walk
there
into a
was
Target.
yeah, I think they still are around
Okay.
that at retail, but originally they were like, 2020 they were $14.99, I think.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so they were sub 15 when they first came out. And Katie Toys, admittedly, Buzzsaw Hordak was bae anyway. But my problem with Buzzsaw, he just looks like, the regular Hordak. He just has like a, little thing in his chest that Buzzsaws out of him. So we'll see. Paul Galliano, I love Hasbro Pulse, $50 a year and free shipping and early access to exclusives. Worth it. I think we asked this question when it first came out, like, what would you prefer? And hell, I mean, if you put enough stuff out, free shipping for $50, that's worth it. If there's enough things to buy. But yeah, it's nice to have.
Or large enough purchases. I know the appeal of Hasbro Pulse is if you're going to get a HasLab, get the Pulse
absolutely. Well worth it.
Yeah.
Well worth it. The Thunderhouse design, the appeal of Origins was the $12 to $20 price point. $25 plus shipping is too much. I think that's a fair point. I do.
Is this the first one that's at the $25 price point? That's not like Hero. That's not that other exclusive one. Like,
yeah,
how much is Voltac or the purple dude from a cartoon collection right there?
$20. $20.
Okay. It's still pushing it, I suppose, for some collectors. So okay.
But yeah, 25 is too much. Yeah. Especially for what you're getting. I mean, because Heroes vac metal. But this is the first one that came out kind of post the tariff uncertainty.
Okay. So I wonder if this is the new price point.
It could be, right? They could be slapping that $5 on it to kind of offset.
Because he's
whatever
kind of in that deluxe packaging too. I don't know. Is it the alternate head sculpt that gets him the box, like the deluxe treatment, so to speak? Because that's not your standard card back though.
No, it's not the slidey case card back, but even Hero has a pretty premium kind of box case.
Yeah, you got to make him feel more premium too, because
you have to charge extra $5.
He's members only, and he's only so $5 more, and you got that Hero, which was way more anticipated in this particular core deck, and you get access to that exclusive, like for the rest of the year, all the other exclusive drops and front of the line privileges. So okay,
that's fair. Allison Troy makes a good point. If it had hit stores, it would have been a deluxe release.
Yeah.
Which that's fair, but it's $25. That's another big reason why this is still sitting there.
Yeah.
Richard Clements points out Cyclone was $25 and in deluxe style packaging. But again, Cyclone is an important character that we hadn't got at all yet in Origins, so it made sense while that one was more popular. It's just this one's tough. This one's, you got the premium price tag. Yes, you're getting a different what was it, profile? What are we calling it? The different portrait to go along with the classic portrait. But yeah, I think this one's a tougher pill to swallow, so it makes sense why it's still sitting there. A couple more votes, and I will end this poll. The question was, as of today, do we still feel like Club Grayskull is worth it? It's overwhelmingly in one side. Let your voice be heard. But for me, I still think it's too early. But if shipping is becoming that much of a factor, maybe they could have made it a little bit more expensive on the front end to give us free shipping, and that would have made this more valuable. But if they only put out like 4 things, then I'd be kind of pissed about that. So I still really think you got to kind of wait the whole year to see, like, okay, was this thing worth it? That's just my thoughts. All right, we got over 100 votes. I'm ending the poll. So I said what was in the lead, but where do you think percentage wise, either no's or yeses is?
I always get these wrong. I think the longer we spoke, so I know you said one was in the lead. Context clues. Well, I'm going to say people are saying that it's not worth it. Let me just.
That is correct. Okay. 66% of the chat say, as of today, that they feel like Club Grayskull is not. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. It's the opposite. It's my own wording. As they do, we still feel like Club. Yeah, no, it's not worth it. I think that's what everyone's saying. No. 66%. Okay. 2-1.
I think it's fair to still give it time, but I mean, things being what they are, current state, they feel like it's not worth it yet. Let's say that. Because you know what? The next drop could blow our minds, and we'll be here talking about, oh, it's so great, and how many people are going to join up just to get early access to the next figure, right? Yep. You never know.
You never know. Hey, everybody, we have a little over 100 likes on this video right now. It's the best way for people to find out this show exists. So hit the like button. We've got 340 some odd people watching at the moment. Hit the like button so that more people can find this video. And then you'll find other videos that are like this video, even beyond our this channel here. So please hit the like button if you haven't done it yet. I'm going to wait for you just 1 second while I tee up this next thing. And while I wait for you to hit the like button, just a quick reminder, was in Japan for a week to go to Star Wars Celebration. For my patrons, our After Dark live stream right after this show. The party continues. For only $5, you get access to this at patreon.com/geekdadlife. And I'll be sharing the Japan stories and Colleen and Hall's stuff that I picked up in Japan. Colleen, if she isn't asleep by the time we end this show, will be joining us as well.
Awesome.
All right. Let's go. Let's keep on keeping on here, because we got another wave of Super 7 Thundercats.
We do. If I were king of the forest, That's immediately what I thought when I saw this coronation Lionel. I was
Not
not
king,
prince.
not duke,
Duke.
not prince.
There you go.
Um. This guy's cool. That's about it.
That dude is kind of cool.
He's cool.
Yeah. That guy kind of reminds me of Frankenberry's cousin. I thought of Witchberry, but I'm not going to say. And this dude, he's got a staff. What is the staff for? I don't remember the coronation episode.
I don't know. I don't remember.
The wizard staff. Does it have a little pipe tucked in top of it, like Gandalf's?
Maybe it better. If it doesn't, then that's a failure.
Okay.
Of design.
And I'm hoping that poof is flocked or somehow like it's really poofy on top of it. It's probably sculpted, but
yeah, it's probably sculpted, but it's a nice idea.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. The Super 7 this past week also said they're adding like a 8% surcharge will be added to all non-apparel items. So what are these things now? $55?
Yeah, 55.
So what's 8% on 55?
I'm doing the numbers now. Math is fun.
So that makes it $59, probably $60, somewhere around there.
Okay. Because I know for a brief time when Wile E. Kit and Wile E. Cat came up on BBTS, and so people panicked. They were like, oh no, is this the new tariff prices? Nobody knows yet, right? I felt like it was just BBTS being BBTS. And I want to say when they put the re-ups on their website, they were originally posted at like 65. And a few people freaked out. But then after a little while, after the controversy, people like it dropped back down. All right. But so people were panicked. Again, we're not trying to induce panic. We're trying to be situationally aware.
I'm here to induce
pricing.
Panic. Quip. I'm here.
I'm not. You can induce panic. It's your show. Induce all the panic.
No. But so if it's at the $55, $60 is where it is. That site said $72. Good Lord.
Oh, well, gun damn it. It's kind of funny to say. Gun damn it. I don't know if they ship directly from overseas. I don't know if they're, because that's actually where I got my Underground Arsenal van. And so it shipped from China. So I don't know if that price that's on this website, okay, they posted them at 65 plus tariff surcharge. Okay. Yeesh. All right. There you go. So 65 is the new price point.
Nobody's buying these. I'm sorry. If these are $65 and if there's a surcharge on top of it, the 8%,
wait till
stick
the end
a fork in it. This line's done.
Be end of this year when they're going to be super low. Maybe the end of next year. We'll see.
What's going to be super low?
Oh, the the end of year sales where everything like
sure,
because nobody's been buying them over the past couple of years.
But no, these just aren't going to get made.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about minimum order quantity.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
they're just not. These just ain't going to get made. Because
I feel for people like because there are collectors that were really excited. At least in this series, I've seen the excitement for Red Eyes.
Sure,
the second dude, but I mean, this is they're giving Lion-O the Toxie treatment at this point, where there's so many different variants of Lion-O. It's like, okay, we get it. Like Coronation, I feel like that's a cop out. That's kind of a cheap throw in,
and they're clearly doing it because they've already have most of the tooling done, right? So there's just that saves money, right?
That's what the fifth Lion-O. Yeah, the original.
But no one's
cold
buying
one,
that.
The red one, the cartoon, the original toy deco, and now you got Coronation. Okay, so that's actually the sixth Lion-O in the line. And he doesn't even include a normal head sculpt. Like, if you go back, because say you did, so say, hey, you haven't gotten a Lion-O. Oh my goodness, the Coronation episode was my favorite. They gave you two with the crown. They didn't even give you one with the crown, maybe a removable crown, and then a regular head sculpt. That's like alternate, so that. You know, the old Smithers meme of, but it's got a new hat, right? They didn't even hook collectors who were already in on this line. They just gave you two of the crowned ones. I think you're right. I don't know that these make it across the finish line. And I don't say that with glee. I want toy lines to succeed. I just don't know if this is going to have enough juice to get across the finish line to make a minimum order quantity.
Yeah, like especially in this tariff uncertain world,
Yeah.
like it needs to be something that's like worth the tariff surcharge, whatever the hell that'll be.
Mhm.
And again, who knows? Like he's walking back a lot of those things, but the shit's already screwed up. So like, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But like, I'm just saying, if this is pushing 60, if I put $70, stick a fork in it, it's done. Because like we were just talking about Hordak not selling. It's like the 5th Hordak.
Yeah.
To your point, this is like the 27th Lino. Like, and that's 1/3 of this wave. And they need to sell these Linos to make the new tooling for, you said it's Red Eye,
and
Wizra.
And to your point, that's what Jeffrey commented,
happen.
right? Better to have duplicates than no figures where the line ends. I agree, but make a duplicate that will be appealing to people just getting into the line and people who are wanting to get, the deep cut. It would not have been that hard to throw in a slightly different facial expression without the crown.
Yep,
and as Alpha Magnus pointed out, hey, maybe explore some accessory sets that will help you with the world building, right? But even then, as I say that, that's new tooling even for the smaller accessory sets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what you're adding, if it's weapons,
yeah,
crown,
but that's
head
cheaper
packs,
than like an articulated.
It's cheaper than a new figure. Yeah, it is. Yeah. All right.
So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. But for those that want it, there it is. There it is. Anywho, we're wrapping things up here. Any other things you wanted to tap into? There's a lot of news, but we don't have time for everything. You want to talk about Figure Obscura?
We can talk Figure Obscura.
Ganesha?
Yeah. I know that was a really exciting drop. That
cool.
Figure wise, very neat. Again, I want to be respectful. I forget who does the Four Horsemen reviews. Dorklayer has a really good video where again he's being respectful, being mindful of it, because this is still I want to say this is the first figure of
like a holy figure.
Yeah, of that is capturing, or it's a figure of a deity that is currently worshipped. I know in some areas Monkey King is, but Monkey King is more a character of literary folklore.
Sure.
And mythology. So when we say mythology and mythological characters, we are being respectful. We just mean it in its purest sense, not in a belittling sense. But as far as Figura Obscura exploring this mythology to expose Western people's like two different cultures, there's really cool stuff that's happening. And I know they were very respectful in the layout and even telling the story behind who Ganesha is. Just as a figure, just right off the rip, it's a really cool action figure.
It's neat.
Yeah, it comes with a lot of really nice accessories. I want to say for the 4-H collectors, correct me if I'm wrong, this is ogre scale, which is it's a little bit of a larger figure, and I want to say it only came in $10 more than the smaller figure of like a Sun Wukong, which was I want to say on the $1.5, a slightly modified $1.5 for Four Horsemen. But I think this would display really well with the Sun Wukong.
I mean, just even if you don't want it to display with something, I think it's cool. Like all the detail, all the paint, like it's cool as hell. But it's sold out, so I missed it, so I'm not getting it anyway.
Well, it's sold out right now, but there is going to be a second drop. Figura Obscura always does second drops. They didn't say when, but it is going to be sometime in May. So stay tuned.
There you go. Okay. Somebody said, hey, was it Patrick who said, hey, are we going to look at the in-hand images of the Super 7 2003 Turtles? Some in-hand images are showing up.
Yeah, we do have some of those.
This are hosted on Toy News Eye. What's you're a turtle guy, Quip? What's your thoughts?
I'm a turtle guy. These are very turtly, and I feel like they're turtly enough for the Turtle Club. That's my official. That's me officially weighing in. They are totally enough for the Turtle Club. The
Turtle.
I'm interested to see the new articulation scheme in motion.
Sure.
To see how smooth some of the joints are. But all in all, I mean, some people I've heard mixed reviews on there's not enough paint. Well, these are exactly how I want them, right? I feel like these toe the line with respect to like at least this particular shot. So maybe it's the lighting. It doesn't look terribly shiny or too plasticky, right? These kind of have a matte feel. So I think sheen wise, it's there. Sculpt wise, these are really nice. They have good accessories. I don't know if you have more, if you want to like click through, but I like particularly Michelangelo's, and the weapon set that he comes with is really good. They got the color of the figures as far as these figures for 2003. For what NECA did with TMNT 1987, what Super 7 has done with these 2003 figures, I feel like they've kind of hit the nail on the head as far as capturing that animation aesthetic.
Yeah, I
For the
think
2003
so. I mean,
cartoons.
I'm blanking on the sculptor's name that worked with him on this, but I think the sculpt is really well done. Like I have no notes for that. I think, and to your point, like the matte plastic looks good. And we kind of had this debate in the GDL Discord, but I think the Achilles heel of Super 7 is they don't paint their figures. It's usually whatever injected and molded plastic. That's the color of the figure, and there's some light paint applications, but they don't really do anything beyond that. And when you compare it to other mid majors like NECA or Mondo, their paint, there's paint all over the place, and I do think that leads to a higher quality look and feel, right? That being said, these pictures at least looks okay. They look okay. It's not
Yeah.
great though. I think it needs. You can't just rely on the color of the plastic to kind of get you across the finish line. That's just my personal opinion.
Fair enough.
I know other people have counter opinions, but
Yeah. Do we in the Google Doc? I think there's one. Somebody posted it on Instagram, and I forget the influencer who posted it, but I know there's a link that actually compares these turtles with like the first one is the Toy News Eye link, but if you go to, let me see if I have it up here and I can drop the link in the chat.
is it the in-hand images?
No, there's a link below that says size comparison to other
Oh,
popular
I got it.
figures
Hold
for
on.
scale. Yeah. So if you double
Oh, I
click
got a
that and
request
pull it
for
up.
access though.
Oh,
Gotta give me
really?
access, yeah.
Oh, wait, what did I do? Okay, nope, that's me screwing up the links. Hold on.
Oh,
Let me
alright.
jump into the Discord and see if I can find it real quick.
But yeah,
All
like
right, I
so
got you.
Mikey looks solid.
Hmm.
It just that they look solid. They look solid.
They do.
I still think they should be painted though.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But again, they look good. They look good.
Yeah.
Like that one looks good. But you see what I mean? Like even like a wash on this yellow
Hmm. Yeah,
would go a
something,
long
just
way.
a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. No, I see your point. That's fair. I'm interested to see like those joints though. Those joints are looking comparable to Storm Collectibles, right? As far as fluidity and range of motion. So, but they're not at the Storm Collectible price point, right? Storm Collectibles. Well, it's weird. Here we go. All right, I found the link. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll drop it in
But even just here on the belt, like that just looks cheap. This belt looks cheap.
the belt. Yeah, fair, fair.
Right? And then it's just needs a little bit extra. Where'd you
All
put the link? You changed the link.
it's in the Google
doc?
Doc now. It says Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna try and message you, but then I just realized we're both logged into the StreamYard, so I can't privately message you in StreamYard. So, yeah.
All right. So,
and while you're doing that too, I do want to acknowledge. I think Take Two called me or corrected me and said that Monkey King is legit a deity, not a more mythological literary character. So again, my apologies. I do not mean to misspeak or offend anyone.
Damn it, Quip. I'm
sorry.
We got to cancel you now.
Learned more. So thank you for correcting me, Take Two. I just wanted to acknowledge that. But here, yeah, you could see how they scale. As we were talking before about how they scale, like on your shelf, if you want to see what they would look like if you want to put that trench coat from the NECA figure on your Super 7 figure. I think scale-wise, they nailed it. As far as right there, you've got some Mafex, some Marvel Legends, McFarlane, that's Marvel Legends too. Marvel Legends.
But
so
you know,
it's mainly Marvel Legends.
Josh Brown makes a good point. Ganesha is $15 more than this turtle, right? And the Ganesha is it looks 1,000,000% better than this figure. But it's an animated turtle. And in terms of capturing that look, I think they've done a really good job.
Yes. Yeah.
But that being said, I just a Super 7. I know times are tough, but just a little extra paint, just a little more,
just a little bit,
just a little bit more. And you could add a slam dunk. That's all.
Yeah, and I will say that is something that was eye opening too, because even that figure obscura Ganesha at $70, that Maximum Series Hulk is also $70. And I was gonna mention it for Alien Day, but it's fine. Don't necessarily need to talk about that because I know we're getting close to time. But yeah, just seeing kind of the comparisons between once you start looking at the pricing of things. Yeah. And Ganesha is what, $5 more than those Thundercats Ultimates are going to be as well. Just food for thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Hulk is 60. They're saying Hulk is 60. 60, 70, whatever it is, expensive.
Okay. Now, yeah, it is 60. It was $59.99. Sorry, misspoke. All right, so $10 difference, but
yeah, you know, I don't think that's a wrong criticism here. All that being said, these are going to be at a much lower MOQ than a $25 figure that's on a retail shelf. In fairness to, you know, their pricing structure. That being said, when you compare it to other mid majors that do online or smaller MOQ, they're bringing you higher levels of quality. All of that being said, I do think they really did a good job with these. Are they perfect? No, but I think they're pretty solid. And on that note, Quip, I think it's time to say goodbye. Now it's time to say goodbye. But if you want to keep this party going, come join us in After Dark. That is where I will be sharing my Japan stories, and maybe Colleen will be there. I don't know. She may be there. Not only just celebration, but toy hunting, Disney. We'll just share the story, share the tale of our Japan adventures. And then, you know, not only do you get to access After Dark when we do those shows, but you also get access to the GDL Discord, which is a ton of fun. It's where you get to keep this chat going all week long, not just toys, but so much more. And Toy Geeks, new episode this week on the Toy Geeks YouTube channel. We're doing 1997 Part 2, which will be, it is already recorded. We did it already. It was a ton of fun. So look forward to sharing that with you all. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Oh, and After Dark, I got a Matt Bush box as well. So who knows what's going to be inside? I haven't looked inside it yet. So
we need a jingle for Matt Bush pickups or what's in the box.
Yeah. What's in the box? It's not Gwyneth Paltrow's head. I can guarantee that. Thank you, Greg. Yeah, the best 5 dirt. I mean, in this tariffed world, $5 at this point is like, I don't know, a nickel. So definitely become a patron at patreon.com/geekdadlife. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Wait. There it is. We'll see you all next time. Hasta luego. And goodbye.